I was thinking about it. Our town is like weirdly small because like
We're the smallest county in Ohio.
yeah, for like our town being like a village or whatever. I'm like it's kind of big for because I like lived in Maxburg, which is like
Even yeah.
you got like 10 houses in town.
Oh, living. So humans just got paired up against living end.
Oh God, here we go.
Ouch. This will be interesting. Thalia, I mean, you're gonna see.
Hold on, look at these sleeves, bro. What are these? Those are sick. Cycle time. Mark. Oh yeah, here's the whale. I'm sorry. I get super pumped when I watch Living End.
Bricker is a living end player.
I love Living End. I do agree that Violent Outburst is a little messed up. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm in agreement with that. Wait, we're playing snow covered lands? Ooh, Tanner, I need you to find a list. Is there a reason we're playing snow covered lands? You got something spicy in this deck?
Sky Turtle.
Find some like cooler.
Sky Turtle bouncing the Hierarch.
I see no reason.
Oh, we're just playing them because they're sick.
I guess.
We're just dropping cards.
Curveball.
Ooh. You say you saw a Thalia in hand?
No, that was Thalia's lieutenant. I said Thalia could play a factor in this matchup. Just to slow down
I thought
the
you
hand
said
a little bit.
that we had a Thalia and it just didn't get played there. I was like,
No.
If there's a good one to play in that spot, Thalia would be the one.
Oh, yeah, vialing and a meddling mage in response to the cascade trigger is really gross.
That would also be disgusting.
Or probably just meddling mage in general, but
Yeah, I mean, that one... Alex says, show me. What if Mark just didn't put him in? He was just hoping people would scoop. There was... Somebody actually did that in Legacy. Did it with Gift Storm. I can't remember who. Or with Burning Wish. They just forgot to put the tendrils in their deck. So he's like, I'm going to cast Burning Wish. And they're like, yeah, man, you got it. And he's like, all right, cool. And he just did not have tendrils in his sideboard to grab.
Oops.
To win the game. Cannot remember who that was. TJ was telling me that yesterday. So
That's some power on the board for Mark.
yeah, it's gonna be a pretty hard game for Alex to come back in.
oh, that camera's not quite right.
Yeah,
That one's not quite right either.
it's a little off.
They just get bumped.
People are saying that was LSV you're talking about.
Is it? That sounds right. That does sound right.
Oh, Brutal
What
Cathar.
a champ, though. What a champ. Brutal Cathar, that makes sense. Gonna need some form of removal. So the daytime cycle begins. It'll probably flip to night because Mark's probably not going to cast any spells.
Then
If Alex casts 2 spells, it'll flip back to day, and then Brutal Cathar will be able to exile something else. One of the gross cards about it. Only thing I can really see Mark doing is potentially using another turtle to bounce it. And then that Brutal Cathar will enter back in on night mode, not taking anything. But then when it would flip, because if he might not have cast 2 spells, it won't flip back to day.
right.
So, interesting things happening here for sure. We're gonna hard cast. I would say, Mark, you just played it, mate. So he swings 6, 9, 11. Down to 9. I was in a really bad spot. This Brutal Cathar didn't flip, which is what for Alex you would hope to happen.
Yeah, turn 3 living end. Taking care of the entire board for Alex just too much, and game 2.
So
Yeah, and pretty huge Asmo being able to hit the board and just wipe everything. But
yeah,
so back to Chalice on 0 from the humans from Alex.
Chalice probably still on the stack because right now, a cycle of Street Race, probably going to see the other one get cycled. Well, there's a green force, so Chalice probably going to resolve, and then he's going to do this. I could see a world where Mark might have cut some force negations, knowing you're playing against humans. Force negation not going to be great.
Right.
Only real targets that it hits, it's going to be, say, an Aether Vial or a Chalice, so he might not even have that card.
Is that
in.
another Chalice off the top? I think
It is Chalice.
Yeah.
Whether it was off the top or not.
Doesn't matter. It's in hand.
So we're on a subtlety.
What's the? It's Mariner, right?
Unsettled Mariner.
Unsettled Mariner.
You got to pay 1 if it targets you or a creature. So, Chalice on 0. Sticking around
Oh, I
for a
said
turn.
Meddling Mage, didn't I? I apologize. I just saw blue-white and just instantly thought of Meddling Mage.
That's all right.
Chalice on 0 again.
Stacking the canopy.
I'm not mistaken, I believe Alex has a force negation in his hand of his own.
There's a force for Mark. Yeah, Alex was running force of negation, and he was telling me at the last 1K that he runs that because no one expects it.
Yeah, it caught me off
He
guard
said
and I saw it too.
He loves having it out of the sideboard. No one expects humans to be running it, and he said it absolutely is an all-star that way.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like that, and Taryn's definitely, I don't know if he's an advocate for this play, but Taryn always tells me that he likes to be one of the people that always playing something off, because imagine you're playing against humans and then they force negation you, what else are they playing?
Right.
Like, you're so unsettled, like, now you have to think of all these other possible cards that they could be playing, and so it just bothers you. Going to Grief. And we basically have 2 copies of Mantis Rider.
Yeah, Mantis Rider is going to be the grief target there. Force and an outburst in hand for Mark. No way to deal with Chalice currently. So outburst is essentially useless.
Yeah. I get the reason for the illusion not being taken, but also taking the blue card so Alex wouldn't have been able to force negation.
Mantis Rider is also
Mantis
blue.
too.
Yeah, I guess it's true. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm lying to you guys. You're really putting a tax on the better card in terms of violent outburst.
Right.
Could you really protect yourself from it happening on your end step and then you're getting smacked by a lot? We land hierarchy again.
Force and negation in hand for Mark. I saw that.
Got
Grief.
pretty important. Grief also being really good in this match. Lavinia, probably potentially the target. We have to read a card. I don't even know what the card is. To be honest with you. Oh, there's a lot of cards there to hit.
Is that second card Sanctifier and Vac?
Yep. That card, I believe, would be the least valuable target. It hits your grief, but it doesn't hit any of your blue creatures.
Oh, is that Extraction Specialist?
Enters battlefield, return target creature card, mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature can attack or block for as long as you control. So that's pretty good if you have like your, like what we were talking about, your like meddling mages and values, stuff like that. Like, sure, you want them to be a tax effect anyway. And then here it would return Lavinia, and it returns it into play. It does not cast it.
Right.
So, like, it's pretty important. So, I'm going to discard a whale.
I think Mark's digging for a subtlety, but didn't get it.
I believe he has a subtlety in hand.
Oh, he does, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
I believe he was just trying to pitch another card other than a force to it.
Makes sense.
does Mark
No
have,
Cascade.
yeah, no Cascader.
So where you could see Mark take this game over and it just be over. Now he's going to potentially struggle here because he did not find a Cascader to bring these cards back. Obviously, Alex does not know that. Still trying to play around a violent outburst. Mark says that works. Vinny is now in play.
Alex got to be feeling pretty good with the Lavinia in play now.
Yeah. Alex probably pretty shocked that when he went to cast it again that it just stuck. The other thing we're probably potentially going to have to see from Mark is we're going to have to start playing a bad draft deck.
Yep. I mean, casting something like a 4/4.
No.
There he draws the outburst. Casting something like a 4/4 flyer would be
I believe if you're talking about subtlety, it has flash, but like
subtlety's a 3/3, but
yeah,
like a Sphinx or
like a curator, yeah. Sanctifier come in, get rid of the griefs. And Alex just gotta feel incredibly confident with what's happening right now. I would believe. You got a Sanctifier in play, you have a Lavinia.
Yeah, Mark doesn't even have that good of a living end if he would be able to resolve one.
It's going to be one of those moments where you have to potentially just blank a Shardless Agent and refuse to cast Living End. Because even sometimes the bad part when like you don't have a graveyard against certain decks, like Living End still acts as a board wipe,
Right.
but it can't even wipe the board here. It just can't be cast.
Oh wow. Mantis Rider and then Phantasmal Image on the Mantis Rider.
One of the like